Today, what we are going to be talking about is your phone. Now, do you have a problem with phone addiction? Do you aim to do something useful each day, but instead end up scrolling pointlessly on your phone like some kind of mindless cyborg? Do you want to spend a productive afternoon doing work, but instead find yourself checking your phone once again, then getting distracted by Instagram or something like that? Don't worry, because I have the solution. Hi guys, welcome to the video. My name is Naproud, and today we're going to be talking about 6 different ways to stop checking your phone. Now, I used to be basically a very focused and super productive student. I'm not really anymore, but because of my past experiences, I did try out a lot of methods, and I mean a lot of methods. So today we're going to go through all of the ones that I think worked well and are easy to apply, starting from the least extreme and most socially acceptable to the most extreme and least socially acceptable, but also the most effective. Let's get started. The first method is pretty simple, and I think that it does not require much explanation, and probably a lot of you already do it, but that is to turn off your notifications. Since I have had a phone, I have never had notifications on, I think. To be honest, I don't think that this method really helps me from checking my phone, much less than any other person. However, I do want to be an example of a person who goes through life without notifications, so that you can also trust that you can go through life without notifications and nothing too bad is going to happen if you turn off notifications. So another good thing I think about turning off notifications is I find the buzzing sound especially, and the vibration of the phone to be quite unsettling. It makes me feel not very calm. So that's, I think, something that turning off notifications can help with. Okay, the second tip is to set time limits on your apps. So I tried doing this, and then it's actually pretty easy to do. You can go into your phone and do this, but to be honest, I think that it doesn't really work that well. Ever since I set time limits on my apps, all I do is just press ignore limit for today. But I did want to point it out because it is something that's pretty easy to do. Aside from setting time limits, you can also do stuff like set sleeping time on your phone, and then your phone is going to send you sleeping reminders and that sort of thing, which I also have on my phone. But again, I don't really feel like this works that well, but it could for you, which is why I'm saying it now. The third tip, which is something that actually I found really works well, and that is to turn your phone to grayscale. So I'm going to demonstrate what that might look like right now. Everything is gray. Don't you feel like what you're watching is suddenly so much less interesting? Possibly not, because I wore a gray shirt today. I shouldn't have worn a gray shirt. Let me try again. Okay, the third tip is to turn your phone to grayscale. Now, don't you feel like what you're watching is so much less interesting? So personally, I found that while this worked really well, and it made me actually feel kind of opposed to using my phone because it was just so gray and weird looking, it did sort of make me feel like I was attending a funeral 24/7 or something like that, and it did eventually get annoying after a while because I wanted to watch videos from some, I don't know, K-pop groups or whatever, but then everything was gray, so I couldn't really enjoy watching anything on my phone. Also, when I tried to look on Instagram, for example, all of my friends' photos were gray, and I felt like I couldn't really appreciate their photos that well, and that sort of thing. So as a result, even though this does work pretty well, it also kind of removes a factor of utility from your phone. So I would recommend doing this for short periods of time when you really need to focus or something like that. I changed back into my gray shirt. Okay, tip number 4. My 4th tip is to put your phone somewhere else, so in a different geographical location. The first thing I would recommend would be to charge your phone outside of your room, and this basically prevents you from checking your phone when you wake up in the middle of the night or checking your phone right when you wake up in the morning. Also, for example, when you're studying and then you want to really concentrate, putting your phone outside of your room is a good way to stop checking your phone. The 5th tip, now entering into the more like becoming a hermit sort of category, is to delete all of your social media apps. So I watched like some Netflix documentaries about this recently, but like, you know, like the, what do you call it? Infinite scroll or something on social media apps. That is basically what causes the addiction, and it's basically designed to be similar to like Las Vegas slot machines. So it's not really your fault that social media is addictive. People who design social media apps also specifically choose colors which are more like attractive to people and make people want to click on their apps more. So those apps are really difficult to stay away from. When I was studying very seriously for my exams, especially in year 12, year 13, and also in my first year of university, I was constantly deleting my social media apps. Although after I kept doing this for a while, it sort of lost its potency, so I would just like delete it and then I would download it back the next day. So I would say that this is something that works really well, but you should do it in small doses at a time. Also, even though like while you're studying you could like log into your Facebook account pretty easily from your laptop, you'd be surprised as to the power of like one extra step. Humans are lazy, and that is a strength. Now on to the most extreme level. You may be wondering, now that you've deleted your social media, right, how could you possibly reduce your phone usage and reduce the want for you to click on your phone even further? But I still have one more tip left, and that is to delete your browsing history and use the incognito tab. This is to prevent you from being distracted by suggested videos on YouTube, for example. Because no websites can store any information from you about what kind of things you like, they are not going to be able to recommend you anything that you're interested in. So I did this particularly in year 12, I think, when I was preparing for my exams. And I remember very specifically, like on YouTube, because they couldn't recommend me anything I was actually interested in, I kept getting recommended some videos of like people discovering giant snakes, or maybe it was like a crocodile or something like that, like giant crocodile eggs or something. To be honest, it did work for me pretty well. And that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you have any questions, suggestions, or video requests down in the comment box below, and I'll see you again soon. Bye. By the way, I have a bonus step, so step number 7. Just buy a Nokia phone. You'll never check it. The end.